Hello and a really warm welcome to this week's video where we're going to be talking about the importance of getting out of your own way so that you are massively visible to your soulmate clients. I understand that you can have all the best intentions in the world to show up and be visible and create content. Sometimes we start off really well and then it just all peters out, and before you know it, you're not being visible at all. And one of the things about running a successful business is we need to be visible. You need to be visible to your existing audience and to new people who need to come and find all about you and how you can help and support them. So this is absolutely vital for us as entrepreneurs, absolutely nail. And it's really easy when you know how to make some slight adjustments and really start to show up consistently in your business. So let's start at the beginning. We all have days when we have these really exciting plans that we're going to be visible and we're going to show up in our business and we're going to do that consistently. And then what happens sometimes is you decide to be visible, and that in itself can absolutely just freak you out. And that intention of being visible just actually becomes a block to being visible, or that you kind of get over yourself. You go out there and you create some content, however you've chosen to create it. And guess what? You hear absolutely nothing apart from the crickets. And that's when your mind monkey starts to kick in. And it's because of that, it actually stops you from getting over hearing crickets and keep going. So that might be a scenario that you are familiar with. It could be also that that scenario plays out time and time again. So it's a pattern. So you keep showing up, you keep creating content, you hear nothing, you get no sign of any growth, any engagement, so you pull back. Then some time has passed and then you repeat it and then it happens again. And what happens is that you start to run a dialogue that sounds really familiar and really comfortable for you to hear. And that dialogue is all about how nobody's watching you, how you don't have anything of value or anything new that people couldn't go and find out from somebody else. Or it could even start to tip into that feeling of being too small, not having enough experience, and definitely that feeling of not being good enough. Or you may have some of your own feelings that you just want to fill in the blanks there when you have yourself shown up in your business, heard crickets, and then got into a spiral about what that actually means. And now, one of the other things that I think is really interesting when it comes to human psyche is that you'd have thought when you saw people that you were following become really visible, that it would actually motivate you into becoming more visible yourself. But it often isn't the case. When we have triggers, when we have blocks and beliefs about our own self-worth, our own skills and experience, and really earning our expertise as something of high value, is that sometimes when we see other people become really visible, it actually stops us in our tracks. And I'm sure you've probably all been hearing about Clubhouse, and perhaps you're on Clubhouse, and there's so much noise about Clubhouse, and obviously part of the social media platforms approach is this kind of fear of missing out, and that is really being built by lots of users who are on Clubhouse and they're doing really well on Clubhouse, but they're telling the world how brilliant they're doing on Clubhouse, how many new followers they've got in a really short period of time, and how much money they've generated by being on Clubhouse. And instead of motivating you, that feeds in to your fears and doubts about being good enough when you actually hear that from other people. So I want to say, if any of those scenarios sound familiar to you, I want to first of all to say that you are not alone. I have had clients who have felt those things, and I have probably felt those things myself in the past. However, there are some things that you can do to help you overcome any fears and doubts that you have, that will help you to go out there and be consistently visible with your content. And being consistently visible is absolutely essential. In fact, if you have big, juicy goals, dreams for your business this year, actually, this is your time when you want to be increasing your visibility. You want to be ensuring that you are consistent with your visibility, that you are everywhere. Now, I don't mean that in the sense that you should work more hours. It's about using your content in a really smart and effective way. But let's just get to the kind of crux of the problem, is that you do all of those things if you knew how to overcome your fears and doubts about your own visibility. So let's just put some kind of juice into the mix. So why are we being visible? Is it for our own vanity, so that we can say, oh, we've got so many followers? My daughter's on TikTok, she's only 10, she's got a private account, and she's like, oh, I've only got 100 people following me. And I have to talk to her, I remind her all the time that she's got a personal private account, so 100's pretty good. But also about that it's not about just having a following. It's about creating content that's valuable and is valuable to your audience. So we're not just creating content, are we, for being the sake of gathering followers. However, we want to be creating content that really resonates with our audience and that allows your audience to connect with you. And one of the reasons why this is important is because of really interesting statistics. Only 1% of your audience is likely to buy from you. So that gives you a kind of some food for thought. If you're thinking, oh, I'm okay, I'll just stick with the people that I've got and I'm doing okay. But if you've got some big, juicy goals this year, just think about 1% of your existing audience buying from you. And maybe even after this video, go and look to see if that's true for yourself. And let's say that you've got a really juicy goal. Perhaps you've got a brand new course, you've got a goal of generating £5,000 from that launch. In order to generate £5,000 from that launch of a £500 product, you need just 10 clients. That sounds really easy, doesn't it? And it is when you have a lot of people to speak to who are the right people and who are feel that engagement, that connection with you. And if we follow that rule of 1%, it would mean that in order for you to generate your 5K, you'd actually need an engaged audience of 1,000 people. Highly possible to do when we are visible. So I really wanted to kind of, before I get into how you can overcome any fear and doubt that you have about your visibility, is that I really wanted to kind of share some statistics that will kind of help you to really getting into that, right, okay, I really do need to nail this. I'm wide open to whatever Rachel's going to share with me next. Also, it's thinking about just your audience. It's thinking about, if you haven't refreshed your audience recently, again, you've got people, if you've got people, let's say on your email list, who have been on that email list for more than 6 months, they are unlikely to buy from you. So again, if you got into this cycle, and I've seen it happen with my own clients, if you've got into a cycle of not growing your audience, but keep promoting your services to the same pool of people, you're going to get the same results. So again, if you've got some really juicy goals for your business this year, and you actually want to work with more clients and you want to work and generate more money, you actually need to increase your pool of people, so that actually the next time that you have an amazing product of £500, it's really easy for you to pull in 10 people who are really excited about coming and working with you, and that it's a really easy yes for them to come and put their hands up and pay you £500 for the amazing stuff that you do. And you can create those results in your business by having constant and consistent visibility across the platforms that you choose to be on. So let's talk about the how now. How do you actually ensure that you are consistent with your visibility, even when you are like just not feeling it for any of the reasons that I detailed at the beginning of this video? So there are 3 things that you can do, and I've mapped them out here. I was just trying to find them whilst I'm scrolling. Okay, first of all, of course, it's about your mindset. So the next time that you are like, right, I'm going to be visible. So perhaps it's at the beginning of the week and you map out how you're going to be visible in your business. And then and maybe you've even put it into your diary, and then it gets to that day and you find every reason why you can't be visible that day. Perhaps you haven't put your makeup on, perhaps you haven't got a dress, perhaps you've got a house full of other people, all sorts of different scenarios that are real. And I would say that when you hit that situation where you're like, oh, I really want to be visible, and that's what I put in my plan to be, but I'm just not feeling it today, I want for you to sit there and to ask yourself, what are you scared about being visible? What is it about visibility that makes you feel scared, that makes you feel as if you can't go out there and be visible? And actually write down all of the reasons that come up for you. And then when you start to get the answers, so maybe the answers are, I haven't done my makeup. So then you ask yourself, that's not the real reason, is it? What else? And you drill down using that technique of just asking yourself very gently, like, what else? What else? And it could likely be that you get to the bottom of that scenario, and it could be that you've discovered that you don't believe that you are good enough to actually go out there and share your message with your audience. And once you start to understand what those key blocks are, that's when you need to work on releasing those. And if you're interested in knowing more about that, I've got something for you at the end. So the second element is you've got to make your desire for your results bigger than your fear. So let's pull that back a little bit and explore, what do I mean by that? When we create a business, you know, often we just jump into it and we get going, and before long we've been running a business. All sorts of things have happened during that time, and some of those things will be good, some of those things will not be so good, and they will start to create some resistance perhaps in certain areas. And what I see happen with female entrepreneurs, female business owners over and over again is that women are thinking too small, quite frankly. It's that and I've done this work recently with my clients in the 5K Club, where we've spent the whole of January, not the whole of January, but a period of time in January, really sitting down and have been really clear about not just what your goals are for the year, but thinking about what is that end result. So if you're looking at generating consistent months of 5K, let's say, every single month, like, where does that get you to? What is it that 5K will help you to create? Perhaps it's about clearing off debt so you can become debt free within a period of time. Perhaps it means that you can give up your full-time job, part-time job. Perhaps it means that you can retire, semi-retire your husband or your partner. Perhaps it means that you are contributing to the family pot and you're like, yes, my business has got the ability to grow and to really contribute brilliantly to my business. So it's always attaching the real reason, your desired outcome, to those goals, to those monetary goals. So get really clear about that and give yourself permission to dream really big. It's the really big goals that get us excited. And that's what I mean about making your desires bigger than your fear. So if you know that actually I'm sat here and make all the excuses for not being visible, but actually if I just put that to one side, if I got out of my own way, And I was visible and I was consistent with my visibility, and it meant that I could escalate and scale my business to this level. So I was generating consistent months of whatever your goal is, 5K a month. Then you look at what your life is going to be like and how that positively impacts you, your loved ones, and so on. And you make that your goal and you get really excited about that. And then you show up. Can you see the difference? Not only are you overcoming old patterns, beliefs, and fears, but you've got really frigging excited about what your business, your business is here for lots of reasons, but one of the reasons that you're in business is to generate money. And it's getting excited about what that positive impact is going to be when you're earning more money from your business. So try that. I mean, look at me, I'm already fired up just talking about it. And then the third one is choose your platform. Choose ways that it's really easy for you to show up. So, for instance, there are so many ways that you can create content and engagement and be visible to your existing audience and to new people who need to find out about you as well. And what I'd say is make this as simple for you as possible. So if you are not quite ready for video, and not everybody is, there's obviously things that you can do to make yourself comfortable with it. But if you're like, I'm not quite ready for video, and it's the one thing that keeps stopping you from creating consistent content, is choose a different way of creating content. You might be really happy with audio. So instead of doing a video like this, like I choose to create a video for my audience every single week because I'm really happy behind a video. Never used to be. But you could choose to create an audio file instead of a video, or you could use Clubhouse because that's an audio file, or you could create a podcast or put yourself forward to be on other people's podcasts. So choose something that's really easy for you to do. If you've got some stretch goals, like you want to be on video, that's great. Make that like something that you do during the year. But right now, in terms of creating consistent content with where you are with, dealing with what you've got, is choose something that's really easy for you to do it. And if you're like, I'm not ready for video, I'm not ready for audio, the written word is still really powerful. So instead of looking at other people and thinking, well, I've got to be like them to generate the success that they've generated, think about what your own skills and attributes naturally lead you to and use those. So I hope you have found this conversation helpful. So I've got a couple of extra resources for you. I'm going to post the details below, but in February, I am going to run a live masterclass where I will be sharing with you exactly how you can become fearless in your business. So of course, this is all about your mindset. This is all about creating that mindset that allows you to keep moving forward, keep stretching yourself and keep growing so that you are growing yourself and therefore your business. So it's all about changing your mindset, transforming your business. It's completely free and the details are below. And the second resource I have for you, as I have mentioned it, if you are on Clubhouse or you are planning to be on Clubhouse, you can now follow me on Clubhouse, and I'll leave my details below. And every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m, myself and my friend Suzanne James, who is a NLP master trainer, she's amazing at mindset, we run a weekly slot where we are uncovering the truth behind running a successful business. So it's a BS free zone. We're sharing exactly what we've discovered, what works for our clients in terms of generating growth in our business. And obviously, because we're both mindset experts, as well as being very experienced in business, is that we share mindset tools, we do some mini coaching on there. It is a really lovely room to be part of. So if you want to be part of that, just make sure that you're following me on Clubhouse. You'll see the notification go up. Come and join us on a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this week's video. Drop me any questions, comments that you have below, and I look forward to creating you some fresh content next week. Bye for now.